What up, guys? It's Lance back with another interview. Today we have Kylie Haacke from the University of Eastern Illinois. She attended Mattoon High School for 4 years, and she participated in basketball, track, and cross country. And she was an all-conference 6 times there, and that is the Apollo Conference, and which is absolutely awesome. So congrats to her. And she's, like I said, now at the University of Eastern Illinois. She has won the 2022 and 2023 OVC conference as a team, which is awesome. She got 10th place in all OVCs at cross country this year. And she also got third in the 10K, which is absolutely awesome on the track. So, Kylie, how's your day been going?
Good. On the way back home from my sister's meet in Bloomington. She's a junior at Mattoon. So it's been chilling. We're on spring break, which is so nice. I definitely needed a week to not do anything. So just it's been good. Chill.
So how did you get into running?
So I have been around track and running my entire life. My dad is the track coach at Mattoon High School, and I think his first year was the year I was born. And literally had I was born May 11th and they had sectionals, I want to say May 9th. So like I've been around it ever since. And then I really got into like distance running in third grade when I ran Girls on the Run. And I think ever since then it's just been a thing. And all my role models growing up were distance runners. And Megan Schaefer and Taylor Smith and Cassie Schaefer, like all those girls, I wanted to be like them. And I think that's kind of part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing and where I'm at. So because they were really awesome to watch and run. And I wanted to be just like them.
So when did you start running competitively?
Middle school, so sixth grade. That's when I started because then I had cross country, and I think after that I just kind of fell in love with it. And then track, same thing. Although I was more like in middle school, I was more like the 400 mile, and then as I got older, progressed to the longer distances. I think that's kind of my sweet spot. So
I got you. So you said what caused you to get longer distances as you got older? Because a lot of people they like to stay at the shorter distances.
I just think I'm better at it. I think that's I'm better at the longer distance. I'm able to maintain that a little bit longer than an 800. And I'm mental. I feel like sometimes I'm a little bit mentally stronger, better than others at times, even though like high school, I mean, freshman through, I guess, junior year before COVID, I was 800 mile. And then I guess ran the 2 mile once. And then senior year is just 2 mile, 2 mile, 2 mile, 2 mile, and mile. And I think that just kind of carried it over because it's really funny because I never wanted to like I knew I wanted to run in college, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna run the 800 mile, 1500. Like, I'm not gonna run the 5K. I'm never gonna run the 10K. Well, I those are my events. The 5K is my thing. So, and I love the 10K. I've done it once, but it's got a special place in my heart. So I think just the longer I go, the better I do. So yeah,
What did
that's pretty much it.
go ahead.
No, no, you're good.
So you said you started running at a younger age, which is absolutely awesome. And so how did you kind of build your knowledge based on that? Because you got a good start. So do you think you had an advantage amongst others?
I do. I really do. I think there was a little bit more advantage because I knew, and especially living with your coach, there's a lot of talk at home on the way from car rides home, on the way to school. You talk more strategy, you talk more. I feel like I got more of that one on one than a lot of other athletes and runners may get just because they may not live with their coach. Maybe their parents don't know a lot about the running or the sport in general. So I feel like I definitely had an advantage. And then just being around it my entire life, I've seen how things work. I know how things work. I know how things are supposed to be run. Like I've tried, I literally ran everything from the 4x2 in high school up to the 2 mile. I was doing everything. I pole vaulted, which I wish I would have been able to do a little bit more, but COVID. I feel like I know more. I don't know. I just feel like the knowledge based and even like in like the pros, we sit and we talk and it's like, okay, there's your move, there's where you gotta watch. We've watched film on me racing. Like it's definitely something I feel like I've had more of an advantage of because I've had the resources for that.
So what does some of your training look like in high school?
Oh, I gotta think back a little bit. It wasn't, I was still, I feel like I was more higher mileage than some of like my current teammates. Like we talked, and the highest mileage week I had in high school was a 45-mile week. And we're some of my other teammates now were like, oh, we only ran like 20, 30 max, maybe. But I think on like the regular, it was between 30 to 35. But I did have a few like 40 and 45 miles because we had talked like one point, he's like, my dad was like, you're gonna run 50 miles in college. Like that's just what it's going to be. So he wanted to get me up to 50 miles one week. The closest we got was 45. But he was so right because I'm running 65 now. So I think having that base helped for where I'm at now. But I mean, I wasn't doing a ton of long runs. I 8 miles consistently, 10 miles I did once or twice max. And that was more like cross country season. But we did a lot of workouts for sure. Lots of that quick speeds, 300s, 200s, some 400s sprinkled in there here and there, K repeats, a lot of ladders. My dad likes to, he liked the ladders, get that speed and stuff in. So,
You you grew up
yeah.
really close. Excuse me. You grew up to really close to the University of Eastern Illinois. You said some of your role models were even girls that went to the University of Eastern Illinois. Did you know that's kind of where you wanted to go?
No, I literally did not want to go to Eastern at all. I wanted to go and I wanted to go somewhere else because I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to Eastern. I wanted to explore. But as we went on college visits, the more I realized like that's where I wanted to be and that's the team I wanted to be with and the atmosphere that best suited me. And I don't think I was quite ready to leave the more like the closer it got to like having to make that decision. But I'm far away, but then that didn't happen, which is fine. And I love where I'm at. So I'm gonna have to leave soon at some point, which is sad, but I definitely think where I'm at is was the best choice for sure. Because then I got my family close by. So I really can literally, fun fact, I can run from campus to my house. So we've done that a few times for long runs. So which is fun.
I actually didn't know that. Yeah, I kind of all the
Yeah.
conversations we've had, I never knew that.
It's yeah, it's like a I want to say I think it's if you do one route, it's like 7, 8ish miles, but you could definitely make it longer to like 9 or 10 or even 11.
Okay.
So I've done that twice, I think 3 times. So
I definitely would have used that route if I were you. Like I would do that so
I
much
know.
because you get a ride back.
Yeah, yeah. We would get a ride back because my dad, the first time I did it was from my house to campus, and then we had to call my mom to come pick us up because my dad biked with me, and it was so cold that day. It was like I want to say like 15, 20 degrees whenever we did it, so we were freezing. And then I did it another time where my dad had to come pick me up, and we ran from Eastern to my house with a few of my teammates, and then my dad drove us back. So my mom made us breakfast one time after we got there. So that was a nice little reward at the end of the like 90 minutes.
That's good. So, what are some of the differences that you've noticed within your college training and high school training?
The amount of volume that it is, it's I and also running 7 days a week consistently. I mean, we have an off day like every 10 days, but you do, I mean, like you're getting in those big cycles. So I think that was the biggest thing, like adjustment is you're not getting an off day every week. And maybe you get off days once a week or one every like 10 days. So you got to get through like the cycle. There's sometimes we don't have an off day until like we'll have an off day on a Thursday and then we'll go a full week and then have an off day on a Monday. And those are always like our highest mileage weeks. Like we just got off of one this last week. So that's why I had the 65-mile week because it was just such a big volume. Like I didn't really do tempos in high school. And the ones I did, they were awful. Awful. I didn't know how to never done anything like that in high school, so I didn't really know how to do it. But now I'm doing 6-mile tempos at like 6:05 pace. And that's not something I never would have imagined myself doing. Let's see what else. Medium long runs. I didn't really do those. Long runs I would do, but again, it was like 8 miles, 10 max once or twice. So just I think mainly the volume and like how many days a week is like the biggest change and adjustment.
What about some of the atmosphere from high school to college?
Definitely more serious, which is a good thing because I mean, I my high school team was never really big, and I did have a few girls. Like one of my best friends runs at Milliken, and so I always had her. But other than that, like I felt like our program was pretty successful and stuff. We still had the girls that like weren't all bought in, or like we're just there for like the social where everyone's serious, everyone is there for a reason and wants to compete and do their best. But other than that, I feel like it's pretty similar. I mean, I was great friends with all of the girls on the cross and track team in high school, and I even better friends with the girls on the team now. So they're my best friends, and that's kind of how it was in high school. But it's definitely more serious. People are more locked in, more mature. I mean, you're growing up a little bit. You get away from home, so you got to figure some things out. But yeah, I think it's just the maturity wise and knowing that you're here because you want to do it rather than like the social, if that makes sense.
No, I completely understand what you're saying. I feel like that's a conversation we have
Okay.
as a team because we have a couple guys that
Yeah.
are well, one guy that's looking to run a college, and then one of them we talk about it to him all the time. He's not going to run a college, he's going to go serve. And he's
Yeah.
so one of our guys, he's looking to run in college, and so we're kind of having that talked with him like it's a lot different than high school because all those guys are literally wanting to be there because you are taking
Yeah.
time and literally money out of your pocket to go run. So
Yep. And you may go and like I was one of the better like top one and two like my freshman through junior year, and then my senior year I was really the only really good distance girl we had. So like I go from being like the best to like, oh, I'm not the best runner on the team. I may be like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. Like that was also something, but then that gives you training partners. I didn't have to run with the guys like I did in high school. I get to run with girls that will push me to do what I can. I get to race with them. So yeah, I mean, that was a positive thing that came to going to Easter for sure. Is having that team.
one of my favorite parts that I get to see on Strava for not only you but all our college athletes is that literally every single run you have people to go with. And a lot of college training, we
Mm-hmm.
have this conversation a lot as well. It's a lot of your coach sends it out and you do it. There
Yeah.
really isn't scheduled practice. And so
Yeah.
that's a good thing that you like people get to go out and get the runs in, not only with their friends, but also with their teammates and trying to accomplish the same thing. And so I think that's really important,
Yeah.
especially for a college team, because I mean, all of you guys are literally adults. And so you kind of have to live your own life and do stuff like that. And so it really gives
Yeah.
you a big responsibility.
It is big responsibility, especially when like coach will send out like we're on spring break right now, so we're not meeting as a team. Everyone's home. She sends out our practice scheduler for this week, and we do it. Whereas in high school, I feel like people would like, okay, you do this day. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do the workout, or they're going to shorten it or something like that. Doesn't happen in college. We do the full workout, even though we're by ourselves, even though we don't want to, because it just we're fully bought in. We know that we realize that it takes to do great things, and even doing hard workouts on Brave by yourself. So
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. And so you said this was a higher mileage week for you. What is some of the training look like this week?
it's a little bit it's a little back down. Not much, but so I had my off day today. So just chilled. Tomorrow I have a workout, so I'll run my workout in the morning, which is 400s and 200s, and then secondary in the afternoon. Wednesday's medium long run. Thursday's recovery. Friday we have tempo up a 5 mile tempo and 200s. Saturday recovery and then Sunday long run. And then we're in race week next week.
Yeah, that's gonna be your first outdoor meet, right?
Yeah, I'm excited.
And what are you racing,
I'm
dude?
really excited. Hopefully, I think I'm assuming 5K 1500. That's what I did last year. So I'm assuming for sure the 5K. but I imagine I would also run the 1500 because it's a 2 day meet. So 5K would be Friday night, and then the 1500 would be Saturday at like 11, 12. So hopefully we have good weather. Last year it rained, but hopefully it doesn't rain.
Yeah, that is exciting. I remember the rain last year. I believe my dad went to that meet, and
Mhm.
I remember he got a really nice picture of O'Brien, which was really awesome. And I remember Doc
Mhm.
Woodall emailed him and asked him for that picture. So, I mean, if you have Doc Woodall emailing you for a picture, you know it's a good picture.
Yes, it's a good picture. I mean, it was fine last year. I ran well. I PR'd by like 15, 20 seconds. So hopefully same thing this year. My goal is sub 18. That's my goal for opener.
It's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, you've put a lot of great training weeks together. I mean, you just said you came off a
Yeah.
good one, so I mean, I'm sure you're gonna put another one together this week, so that'll be good for you.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, for sure.
you you have been blessed to have some success, and especially as a team. What has some of been your key points as a team to have this success? Two back-to-back OPC titles. That's absolutely awesome, especially in college. That's no slouch. What has
Yeah.
been some of
Yeah.
the key points?
I think some of it is we trust each other. We put so much trust into each other and we rely on each other so much. And like we see it in runs, even like we know we can count on each other. And I think knowing that I can count on someone else makes me like, okay, I can count on this person. And we just always have each other's back. We're so supportive of each other. And I just think our on the distance side, our culture is just so good. We're so close. And no matter if you're a fifth year and a freshman or what, you're friends with everyone. And we really make an effort to pour all the love and support we can into each other to do what we do. I don't think we would be able to do what we do if we didn't trust each other and love each other and support each other the way we do. So I think that's the main thing is we do it for each other. That's one thing we talked about this at conference this year and even regionals. It's like do it for your teammates. If you have nothing else to do it for the seniors on the team. Do it for the freshmen, like the running the first like big championship meet that and their college career. Do it for the girls that have never ran one, like got hurt. Do it for the ones that aren't here. Do it for your parents. Like do it for someone else. And a lot of us, I know for conference, I was like, this is for the seniors. This is for the fifth years. This is for them. That's kind of how I went into it. I think a lot of us did that. So
That's awesome. So, what does some of your plans look like for this track season to be able to race?
oh, I feel like I have some big plans. I got some big goals. Um, my I really want to run 17:30 in the 5K this year. That's a big goal of mine because I think I can do it. And it'd be high school me would be like even now would be floored with what I'm doing because I didn't even break 19 in high school for 3 miles. And I'm over here running 17:50 for 5K. Like I still sometimes can't believe it. But that for sure. I want to run, what was it, 4:35 in the 1500 because I think that would be pretty close to top 10 all time at Eastern, right around that. And then I go sub 38 or sub 37 in the 10K. So those are my plans. And then maybe at the end of the season, have someone potentially pace me sub 5 miles.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it. You have to.
Right?
We have that conversation way too
That's
often.
we did.
You
We
gotta run
did.
5. Like you don't have. I feel like
That would be pretty cool.
yeah, okay. They run the 15 outdoor. I was like, why don't you? I kind of blanked because I forgot that
I
they
know.
they run 15.
I ran 4:39 last year. I was like, dang it, if only I had 100 more meters, I would have been right around 4:59 by flat. So close.
Just got a cake. Just got a cake.
I just got a kick.
So what if so Coach Howard, she's a fantastic coach. She does a great job with you guys. What have been some of the biggest takeaways that you've learned from her?
so many. Again, she puts a lot of trust into us, and she knows that we're hard enough on ourselves, but she's so easy to talk to, even if you are like upset about something. She will be like, okay, so what can we do to, what do you need? What can we do to help? Do you think this is something like, you think your sleep's off? You need more food, hydration, things like that. Just to me, I feel like some of the things like I can take a step back and think about like, okay, how has my sleep been this week? Or how is my was my hydration good or not? Like I that's something I never really did in high school until I got to college. I was able like cause yeah, I don't know, I didn't really think about those things being a deal until I started that I was running and doing all the things I was doing. And then sometimes I gotta take a step back and be like, okay, what do I need to fix this week? What is something I can pick one thing and work on that one week and then pick another thing and work on that next. She's always talking about goals, which I think is good because we start talking about it early and then take the steps we need to get there. And like I said earlier, like a lot of is like have fun, trust your teammates, pour the love into them, support each other, do it for someone else, do it for yourself. Like we find little things to focus on throughout the season that will help us.
So you're going into your 6th year next year. And so you're going to be graduated this year. So congratulations.
Yes.
So you're going to be in a 6th year. So you will be a leader on the team. What are your plans as a leader? And what are some of the things that you've learned from the other girls to make yourself be a better leader?
So I'll be a senior, so my 4th year.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, that's right. Sorry.
no, you're fine. I I feel like I am already in that position a little bit in a way. And I feel like when you're in college, everyone's a leader somehow, some way, because they were a leader in high school. And it may be different. Like we always take, I feel like in some way or another, we take turns like stepping up and being that leader, being that voice. Like it's a shared position, but it's different when you're a senior because you have those freshmen that really look up to you, or even the sophomores that, okay, like this is my captain. They typically are just drawn towards like that 4th and 5th year role. And I think just be the best teammate I can be for sure. Just being welcoming and supportive of everyone and everything, being someone that they can talk to. It's because I mean, going into high school or not high school, college is scary. I was scared to death. I was like, the girls aren't gonna like me. Like, I'm not gonna be able to do this. Like, it was scary. But having like the team with me and the atmosphere of it, they really like. I was it. It was super fine to do. So
What have been
yeah.
excuse me. What have been some of your favorite moments from running at the University of Eastern Illinois? Because what a
Oh
lot
my
of people
goodness.
don't know is they aren't like a solid mid-major program. They
Mhm.
aren't competing at the national meet every year, but they win a lot of conference meets and have kids that run fast. What have been some of your favorite moments?
Well, definitely winning conference back to back years. So cool to do that. Men and women's side, both of us, 2 years in a row. That's definitely a core memory of mine. Honestly, any away trip that we have with the team, because you make so many memories being in the hotel rooms together. Like sometimes we'll go out and get coffee and walk around like where we're at and explore a little bit. And we just have so many inside jokes and so many memories from these trips that we still talk about like to this day and with people like, oh my gosh, yeah, like remember whenever we went, I'm trying to think of an example. We went and walked past last year the Louisville Slugger like Hall of Fame in like downtown Louisville and did a little photo shoot outside of it. Random, but why not? It was fun. So like the night trips, not getting back until like 3 a.m., being a little like sleep deprived, delusional, and things, and then still having to go to class at 8 a.m. the next day. This, I just feel like everything. You just gotta cherish all of it because it's only so long, you know.
Absolutely. And just so you guys know, do not stay up until 3 a.m. and then go to class at 8.
Don't. We were on a bus. We were on a bus. Okay, so that's when we got back to school. and then still had to go to class at 8 a.m. Not fun.
Still, disclaimer, do not do that. So, I kind of want to ask. I always ask questions that are kind of fun at the end. So, I wanted to ask you because I think these are tailored towards you and they match you
Oh
perfectly.
boy.
I know you love
Okay.
music. What have you been listening to recently?
Oh, I okay. Taylor Swift always
Always.
diehard fan since I was like I don't even know. She was like I was little. She was like the first like really musician I started like listening to. Like I think Noah Kahan, obsessed with him,
Oh, Noah
love
Kahan.
him so much. I really want to go see him in concert. He's in Nashville in June and then St. Louis. No, yeah, St. Louis June. And I really want to go see him because I love his music. It's so good. But
Okay.
those are my two main ones. And Harry Styles. I've also been singing Harry Styles.
Okay. I like Noah Khan. I
So,
do listen to a lot of Noah Khan. That kind of fits
oh,
my
God, he's
type
so
of music.
good.
He
What's your favorite?
my favorite. It's okay, so what I always
What's the
say
song?
it's generic, but it's always generic for a reason,
It's
right?
okay.
It's a good song. Stick season. I mean,
Yeah,
how can you not like
that's
it?
a good one.
I
Yeah.
know it's really generic, but I mean it's a great song. And I don't know if you've seen it, but they have a genius like video lyric breakdown with them on YouTube. I'd highly suggest you watch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen
Oh, I
that.
may have to. His songs, all of his songs are so like thought out. The meaning behind all of them are can be so deep, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna start crying over here. Just they're so thoughtful. They're so thought out, and some of them have a really deep meaning. So, yeah,
Are you
I
the
really like.
are you gonna watch the Taylor Swift Eras tour that's on Disney Plus?
But probably, I would probably watch it on Disney Channel or Disney Plus potentially at some point. But I did watch it when it was in theaters.
Oh, of course.
So
I actually forgot about that. I remember thinking,
yeah, because going to a concert is I am too poor for that. I I can't. That's too expensive.
that's fine. So, I know you have been around it a lot, not only with your high school coach, but I'm sure with your dad as well. The one that was a senator, what's his name? Ryder, Coach Ryder, Coach Ryder.
Dale Ryder. Yes,
Yeah, okay.
I love Dale.
So, I love Coach Ryder. He's absolutely awesome. He's hilarious too. So this matches you perfectly. What
Yes.
is your favorite dad joke?
Oh, my favorite dad joke. I'm so bad at jokes. I need my brother here right now. My brother is so good at these jokes. I have one joke. I have one joke that I can remember.
Okay.
I hold on. I have to remember it now. This is embarrassing. You put me on the spot. Okay. What did the ghost say to the bees?
What did he say?
Boobies.
I've never heard that. That's actually funny.
It's the only joke I have.
That's the
That's
only.
literally the only joke I have. It's what I say every time from someone I can remember.
That's terrible. So if you could go back into time and tell young Kylie one thing, what would that one thing be?
Oh my gosh. I would tell her trust the process. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna work out for a reason and how it should be. And to keep working because you're gonna do great things. And just because you're not running as fast, like you're not breaking 18 minutes or 19 minutes and you're not running sub 25 or sub 220 doesn't just you're gonna be fine because you're gonna go somewhere great and everything you've ever dreamed of doing is gonna happen. So I think that's mainly what I would say.
I think that's really important, especially as a young athlete. I think you always put a lot of pressure and stress on yourself. And I know
You do.
you said you grew up in a coach's household, so I can kind of relate to that. I mean, you always have that second voice essentially
Yeah.
with the dad always trying to help you out, which is a good thing, right? But as a young kid,
Yeah.
you kind of neglect it, just like, oh, it's my dad, but it's not understanding that's a person that's substantially smarter than me, and I should definitely listen to them.
Yeah. And especially like another little fun fact about my dad and I is was my cross country coach, my basketball coach, and my track coach. So I had him all three sports all year long. So there was a lot of conversation all the time about things. But I feel like we did a really good job. But like we would talk about it, but we were able to separate between dad, coach dad, and then just dad, and then just coach. Like we were able to. I think we did a good job of like being able to separate all of it. So
I'd get tired of him if I had to spend all year with him nonstop.
it was okay. I mean, he was the JV girls coach. So, but when I was playing varsity, it wasn't. I mean, he was still there, but you know, different head coach.
Different. He was just in the background. You knew he was there. You just wanted to
Yeah.
for him.
Oh yeah, for sure. But we definitely had our moments because I mean, he coached my travel ball from third grade to, or no, fourth grade to freshman year. So, I mean, he's been my coach literally my entire life for like everything besides now. So,
I mean, it's not surprising if he comes takes Howard's job now, right? I'm just-
yeah, yeah. It's funny
but
because him and coach will talk sometimes.
oh, of course. I mean, how
It's a
can you
little
not talk to
scary.
Howard? She's so
I know.
awesome.
She's awesome. She's
She's
so great.
she's actually amazing. I remember like when I was really little because I grew up in Arcola. Yeah, go Riders, go Riders.
Uh,
Um, I would always remember like seeing her when I was a lot younger because I mean my dad went to IU. We were there quite often, not only at meets, but kind of just hanging out, right? And so I remember always I think she was like honestly, I think she may have babysat me. I could entirely be wrong.
really?
I
Stop. That's
know
awesome.
I always remember seeing her when I was a lot younger. And so I've been around her my whole life. And so I think
Mhm.
it's kind of awesome to have that connection as a coach. So I think that's pretty cool.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your night. I know it's
Oh,
pretty
of
hard for you,
course.
especially with being in the car. Shout out to you
That's
for that.
good.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having me. I really appreciate it. It was
No,
fun.
no, absolutely. And I always like I tell everyone this. My two favorite parts are watching and back, and then also seeing the people's reactions on trying to remember kind of what happened. And so and like you said with high school training, you'd have to think back. And so I think that's kind of
I had to think, oh, hopefully my face isn't too bad.
it's fine. Yeah, I promise you, no one cares. It'll be
I
just
hope
fine.
not.
And I'm really excited to watch this fact because I mean you're really smart and like you said, you grew up in a household, so you've always been around it, and so you've had some great insights. So thank you so much again for taking time
Yeah,
out.
of
It really
course.
means a lot.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Lance. Good luck the rest of the season. I hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Bye, Kylie.
Bye.